So go ahead and sit comfortably, cross-legged or up on a block or two in hero pose, whatever works best for you. I'm going to sit up nice and tall and begin with some pranayama work just to settle the mind from the day's events and get us fully arrived to the mat. And I'm combining a bit of marma chikitsa into the flow tonight. Marma points are these energy points in the body that in Ayurveda serve as gates or control points for the flow of prana in the body. And prana flows in the body through these channels called shrotamsi. And there are 22 shrotamsi in the human body according to the system of Ayurveda. We've got 13 internal ones and 9 external ones. And the one that is going to be the focus of tonight's practice is the pranavaha shrota, the channel that carries that life force energy throughout the body. And the marma points that we're going to be focusing on tonight, both from our own stimulation using our fingertips and through the ball rolling, I specifically picked because they are associated with heart and lung health. So given everything that's going on right now with the virus and people being quarantined and generally kind of worried, I wanted to put together a really thoughtful sequence tonight for you, really combining not just the asana postures, but also the tools of pranayama, the tools of marma chikitsa, and then of course my knowledge from my body work and myofascial release, which many of you have already experienced by being on my table. So the first marma point that we're going to start with is called kashirpa. And it's at the base of the thumb joint. And so you're going to press with your opposite hand using your thumb gently but firmly in that meaty area at the base of the thumb. And once you've made that point of contact, you can go ahead and lower the hands down to your lap. Keep circling and massaging the kashirpa point in a clockwise direction. Kashirpa is known to support the lung function as well as increase the flow of prana. Marma points are typically massaged and stimulated for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. So for the next minute, while you massage this point, you can lower your gaze to the floor, soften the eyes, maybe close them. And start to come into your deep belly breath. And just establishing a nice, smooth and steady rhythm as you slowly massage this point in a clockwise direction. Inviting your awareness to this point on the hand. Opening up the pranavaha shrota to support lung health. This is a great point to massage when you're suffering from a cough or chest congestion. It's also a good point to massage for people who have asthma, bronchitis. Continue with that smooth, steady breath. And on your next exhale, release the technique and sigh out of the mouth. Now we're going to move to another marma point on the opposite side. So whichever side you did not work on, you're going to activate a point on the bicep. It's called Urvi, U-R-V-I. And that point is located at the end of the bicep, just above the elbow crease. Now you can use your index and middle finger to massage it if you'd like. And once you've made that point of contact, go ahead and release the arm back down onto the lap as you maintain that contact to the Urvi marma point. Massaging in a clockwise fashion and returning back to that deep belly breath. The Urvi marma point is responsible for supporting the lymphatic system, for supporting the plasma in the body that bathes, protects, and nourishes the tissues and organs. Now, both of these points, Urvi and Kashirpa, you have in both sides, left and right. Continue inviting your awareness, your breath to this point. And gently release the technique. On your next exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Now we're going to start with some Ujjayi breath. So continue with that rhythmic breath, lips sealed. Slight constriction at the back of the throat, creating an audible breath. Now we are at the end of our days, so this Ujjayi can be a gentle to moderate one. Sequence today is going to follow a nice bell curve. Slowly warming up the body with Ujjayi breath, balancing the coolness and dullness of Kapha-dosha. And you're welcome to continue with your Ujjayi pranayama, or continue and join me with a round of Kapalabhati breath. Kapalabhati is skull shining breath. This has a very active exhalation and a passive inhalation with a pumping of the belly. If you have a history of uncontrolled high blood pressure, glaucoma, do not do Kapalabhati. Stay with Ujjayi. And we'll begin with 3 rounds of 10. At your own pace, inhaling through the nose to start. Inhale. Sigh it out the mouth. Inhaling the arms around and up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale around and up. And exhale, high twist to the right. Those fingertips can tent behind you, left hand to the knee or thigh as you lift up high out of the low back. Gaze can look over that right shoulder. Beginning another round of Kapalabhati for a round of 10. Inhaling here. And begin. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale to the other side. Pausing here. Inhale lifts you out of the low back. Round of 10 breaths for Kapalabhati. Inhale, arms back up to center. And exhale the arms back down. Go ahead and switch whichever leg or shin might be crossed in front. Keeping the right fingertips tented down by your side. Inhale the left arm up alongside the ear. And exhale, side stretch over to the right. You're welcome to walk that finger or hand out a little bit, maybe coming down onto the elbow or forearm if it feels good for you. Keep that left sits bone grounded onto the floor. And open up the heart. I'm going to start some dynamic movement here. On the in-breath, keeping your side bend, you're going to dive that arm and reach back behind you, palm up to the ceiling. Gaze follows. Exhale, arm comes around and down to the opposite knee. Inhale opens you up as you backstroke and gaze behind. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Adding on to this now, make a big circle on the floor with that left hand coming around and in front of you on the exhale. Inhale opens you up, arm reaches behind. And exhale, trace the floor in front of you around. One more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, trace. Come back up to center. Other side. Inhale, right arm up. Left fingertips on the floor. And exhale, side stretch. Rounding down in that right sits bone. Take a moment here, make any micro adjustments you need. Breathing into the right side body. And beginning our movement. Inhale, the arm dives back behind you, gaze follows. Exhale, round and tap opposite knee or thigh. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Begin your trace. Exhale, around in front of you. Nice big arm and shoulder circles here. Inhaling, opening up the heart, opening up the front of the shoulder and arm. Exhale, traces around in front. One more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling, trace. Coming back up to center. I'm going to inhale the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers and spin the palms up to the ceiling. Pinkies are reaching toward the wall behind you as you drop the shoulder blades back down the spine. Keep the lower ribs gently tucked in. Inhale, reaches and lifts you tall. Exhale, round the back, tuck chin, tuck tailbone, press the palms forward. Inhale, lift. Head stays neutral. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, lift. Now the gaze looks up to the knuckles. Arms stay there. On the exhale, bring chin toward chest. Nice deep breaths here. Inhale, lifts the head to neutral. Exhale, bend the elbows. Palms come behind the head. Elbows open wide as you take the gaze up toward the ceiling. Come back to neutral. Hands come down by your sides. Inhale, arms around and up one more time. Exhale, high twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift tall. Exhale, turn just the chin to the opposite shoulder. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, chin to collarbone. Pausing here, maintaining your deep rhythmic breath. Another marma point in the side of the neck is called manya, responsible for lubricating the mouth and the throat. Breathing into the scalene muscles, which aid in respiration. Inhale, lift the chin, release the head, release the twist. One more time, other side. Inhale, round and up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn the head to the opposite shoulder. Pause here, in breath. Exhale, chin to collarbone. 3 breaths here. Opening up the scalenes. Opening up manya, marma point. Inhale, lift the chin. Release the head first. Then release the twist. Now go ahead and remove whatever bolster you might be sitting on. We're going to come to a standing position at the top of the mat. Have one of your balls handy. And we're going to work a marma point on the underside of the foot called the Tali Hridaya marma point. And this is right at the center of the foot at the base of the ball of the foot. So it's right about here. It's not really in the center of the foot, right in the middle arch, but it's a little more forward, right where the metatarsal joint is. So you're going to gently place one foot on the ball, but keep the heel down onto the floor for stability. You can take your hands to your hips for extra balance. And then keeping the heel on the floor, you're going to shift the weight forward as if you're pressing down on a gas pedal and apply pressure to that point. Now relax the toes, let them curl down over the ball. And then lift the toes up, but keep pressing the ball of the foot onto the ball. Relax the toes, let them curl down. Inhale, toes lift. Exhale, toes relax. Keep the toes relaxed, heel down. As you start to windshield wiper the foot left and right, just rolling that ball left and right. These can be small movements. They don't need to be large. The Hridaya point supports the heart and circulation. And release. Switch sides. Heel stays down. And gently press into the ball like you're pressing on a gas pedal. Toes relax and curl down. Take a moment and observe. Inhale, lift the toes. Exhale, relax them. Inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. And begin your windshield wiper strokes. Nice steady breath continues as we activate Tali Hridaya Marma. And release. Go ahead and remove the balls, but have them handy and somewhat close by to the side of your mat maybe. And now we're going to start some sun salutations, or some modified ones, I should say. So feet can be hips width distance apart. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale the arms up to Utkatasana. Inhale, reaching tall. Sinking the hips. See if you can balance the weight distribution between the front and back of the foot. You should really feel more contact between the mat and your plantar fascia after that ball rolling. Nice deep breath in here. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the right. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, open up the arms out. If you wish, your hands can stay pressed at heart center, your choice. Sinking the hips down, building some heat. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale, straighten the legs. Arms shoot right up the center line. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, twist to the other side. Inhale, lengthens the spine. Exhale, opens the arms. Or maybe your hands stay, your choice. See if you can draw back that right knee. It's going to want to slide forward. One more breath here. Hands come together. And inhale, straight legs. Arms shoot out the middle. And exhale, forward fold. Hands can come to the shins or block by the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. And exhale, fold, release the head and neck. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, fold and release. Slight bend of the knee here is fine. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank pose. Knees up or down, your choice. Wrists should be stacked underneath the shoulders. Belly engaged. Gaze forward. Back of the neck is long. Ah, yeah. Building some heat. Next, exhale, lift those hips and press it back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels if you need. Fingers spread wide, palms flat. Inhale, both heels up onto the balls of both feet. And exhale, roll forward back into your plank pose. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Building some heat, building some warmth. Inhale, coming forward one more time. Exhale, lift the hips. Go ahead and center that left foot in the middle of your mat and inhale the right leg up out behind you. Bend the knee. Stack the hip and roll it open if that feels good to you. See if you can keep the shoulders square to the top of the mat. Straighten that leg square off the hip and inhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend out behind you. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift the shoulders forward and plant that foot at the top of the mat. Back knee comes down for your kneeling lunge. Inhale the arms around and up overhead. And exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart, gaze looks up. Inhale, palms connect overhead. Exhale, hands come back down. Go ahead and tuck the back toes, lift that knee up, and step back to plank pose. Inhale right here. And exhale, slowly bend the elbows and lower all the way down to the floor. Release the toes. Inhale, lift heart, head, and chest, baby cobra. And exhale down, tap the third eye to the floor. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. And exhale, tap. Inhale, lift, coming through tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips and knees, downward facing dog. Go ahead and center that right foot, inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, stacks the hips. Maybe you bend the knee. Squaring off your shoulders, keeping a nice steady breath. Straightening that knee, square off the hips. And exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift forward, plant that foot. Back knee comes down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows, heart lifts. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands come down. Tuck those back toes. Lift the back knee up and step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, arms up, Utkatasana. And exhale, Samasthiti. Close the eyes. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Feel for an increased heart rate, increased warmth. Take a moment to thank your body for the hard work it does for you each and every day. Open the eyes, drop the arms, inhale them around and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive deep forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank pose, coming through your vinyasa. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Inhale, baby or king cobra, your choice. Exhale, lower down, tap the third eye. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, tap the eye. Inhale, lift. Coming through tabletop, tuck the toes, lift knees and hips, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up behind you. Exhale, knee to chest, shift forward, plant that foot. Back heel drops down as you inhale to warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Holding here. Squaring off hips to the front of the mat. Dropping that tailbone down. Sinking into that front knee. Next exhale opens you out to Virabhadrasana 2. Back heel can change angles as your arms open to a T position. Gaze out over that right middle finger. Nice deep breath in here. Exhale, side angle. That right elbow or arm can come to the thigh as the left arm reaches alongside the ear. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Keep sinking into that front knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, two. And exhale, reverse. Keep your reverse warrior and straighten that front knee. Breathing into the right side body, reaching up and back. Next exhale, bend that front knee again. Come back into your warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come behind the back. And that left hand is going to grab the right wrist in a mock bind. On the in-breath, you're going to lengthen the arms. And exhale, right shoulder to right knee. Reaching those right fingertips toward that back heel, spinning their heart open. Beautiful, and release. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the palms down. Back heel lifts, and you step back to plank pose. Come through your vinyasa, or meet me in down dog, your choice. Other side. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale, step it forward. Warrior one, back heel drops. Inhale, arms around and up. Pausing here. Make your adjustments. Feel for warmth. Hips are square. Next exhale opens you out to warrior two. Activate the legs. Next in-breath brings that left elbow or forearm to the thigh. Exhale, side angle. Keep spinning the rib cage and looking up. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Pausing here. Straighten that front knee. And breathe into that left side body. Feel that line all the way from the fingertips down to the toes. Bend back into that front knee as you inhale to warrior two. And exhale, windmill the palms down as the back heel lifts. Stepping back to plank pose. And coming through another vinyasa. Pausing here in down dog. Steady your breath. And go ahead and shorten your dog. You can walk the hands in about to halfway. You're going to plant that right palm, and the left hand's going to reach underneath and thread through to the outside of that right thigh, knee, chin, whatever you can grab as you do a twisted dog. Release. And go to the other side. And release. Walk the hands back out to your regulation dog. And breathe. Go ahead and walk the hands back toward the feet. Coming to Padangusthasana, binding the big toes with your peace finger and thumb. Bend the knees as much as you need to make that connection. Keep the spine long. Inhale, lift the heart and chest as the shoulders draw back. Exhale, fold. Release head and neck. Keeping a closed circuit for all that circulation we've started. And release. Working deeper into the posture, you can bend the knees as much as you need. You're going to spin the palms facing forward. So the thumbs should face the long edges of your mat. You're going to bend the knees as much as you need to slide, maybe just your fingers or half of your hand or maybe the whole palm back underneath the feet for reverse Padahastasana. Now, depending on how open your hamstrings are, and you might have your knees bent a lot like mine right now, right? Doesn't matter. This is about opening up the front of the wrist, the front of the arm, known as the heart Shrota. Once you have your connection, inhale, lift the heart, extend the spine, shoulders draw back. Exhale, fold, maybe the legs straighten, head and neck releases. Breathe here. Release, bend the knees. Gently lift your feet, take your hands out from underneath, and slowly roll up to stand at the back of your mat. Interlace the palms, and just take some gentle figure eights to release the wrists. And reverse the direction. And release. Inhale, sun breath, arms around and up. And exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands back out to your downward facing dog. And then shift the shoulders forward, coming into your plank pose again. This time, knees are going to come down to the floor. You're going to find your two balls and keep them side by side. You're going to place them on your mat so that when you lower down from your plank, the balls will rest along the right rib cage. Now, they're not on the rib cage, but just below that ridge, right where your diaphragm attaches. So it'll require some micro adjustments. For now, guesstimate the position. And then on the next out breath, bend the elbows and lower yourself down onto those balls. Make the initial contact and then come up to your forearms and elbows like Sphinx pose. And then you can adjust where those balls need to be for yourself. I like to have them in the upper half of the rib cage, just below my xiphoid process. That's the pointy bone at the end of your sternum. And then once you find a good spot, return your elbows and forearms back down. Up in a Sphinx pose here, and just return back to your breath. Allowing the belly to expand and press into the balls. Keep dropping the tailbone slightly, protecting the low back. And breathe into the balls. This is a great myofascial release. On your next exhale, keep the mouth closed, but cough 3 times on the balls. Inhale. And exhale, hands stack on top of one another as the elbows come wide, and you slowly lower yourself further down. Forehead comes to the hands, or maybe some stacked fists, or a block, or maybe you just stay right in your Sphinx pose, whatever works best for you. And surrender. Yield to the balls. 5 breaths right here. After your 5th breath, gently lift the head, bring the elbows closer to the rib cage, coming up on the forearms. And then maybe just wag your tail gently. Bring a little micro rock onto the balls. And release. Plant the palms underneath the shoulders, engage your belly, and come through tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift hips and knees. Downward facing dog. Walk the hands back toward the feet again at the back of the mat. And inhale, reverse swan dive. Lift the head first, heart, chest, arms come around and up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to take the hands to the hips. Step that left foot forward and come to the top of that right foot behind you. Toenails and top of the foot pressing into the floor behind you as you lift the heart and chest, both legs extended. Excuse me. Then you're going to bend into that right knee and reach for the inside ankle with that right hand. So thumb spins toward the ceiling. Maybe you grab the ankle or foot or use a strap. Keeping the thighs close together. Inhale, left arm comes up alongside the ear. And exhale, slight bend in the standing knee as you press into your dancer's pose. Lifting that back foot up toward the ceiling. Maybe the torso comes forward just slightly. 2 more breaths right here. And release. That right foot steps forward on your mat. Figure 4. Left ankle over the right knee or thigh. Palms press. In breath here. Exhale, bend the right knee. Sink the hips. Inhale, back up. Left foot steps forward again to the top of your mat. Right thigh crosses over the left, coming into an eagle wrap. You can bend that standing leg. Hands can stay at the hips for balance. Or if you're feeling like a rock star, go ahead and take eagle wrap with the arms. Left elbow underneath the right. Inhaling here to lift the elbows. Exhale, sink the hips, bend the knees. And breathe. And release. Arms and legs come to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms around and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Knees come down, kneeling plank. Find your balls and guesstimate the position for the left rib cage. On your next out breath, bend the elbows and slowly lower down onto those balls. Untuck the back toes. Come up into forearms and elbows. And assess. Do you need to move the balls? Up, down, in. Find what works for you so the balls are sinking just underneath that bottom rib. Keeping the elbows underneath the shoulders, lifting and pressing out of the shoulders, pressing that floor away. Tailbone tucks. Establish your breath right here on the balls. You might notice one side felt tighter than the other. And on the next out breath, let those elbows come wide, hands stack on top of one another as you slowly lower down, surrendering and yielding, melting onto the balls. 5 breaths here. And after your 5th exhale, lift the head. Elbows come toward the chest. Lifting up onto your forearms and elbows. And taking your 3 coughs with the mouth closed. And wagging the tail. Maybe letting out a soft sigh or horse lips. Palms press underneath the shoulders. Engage the belly, press and lift up through tabletop. Go ahead and move those balls off to the side. As you tuck the toes, lift the hips and knees, coming back into your downward facing dog. Walk the hands back toward the feet. Reverse swan dive up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to hips. Step forward with the right foot. Top of the back foot comes behind you, pressing into the mat as you lift tall out of the heart and chest. Nice long line extending behind you. Then bending that left knee, reaching for the inside of the ankle with that left hand, making whatever connection works for you. Keeping the thighs close together. Inhale, right arm alongside ear. And exhale, press and lift that back knee and leg behind you. Dancer's pose. Slight bend to the standing leg. And release. Step that left foot forward, halfway up your mat. Figure four, right ankle over the left thigh, palms press at heart center, or they can stay on the hips. Inhale here. And exhale, sink it down. Inhale, pressing up. Step that right foot to the top of your mat. Eagle wrap, left thigh crosses over right, finding whatever depth works for you. Maybe you can get that foot wrapped around the calf, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Find your practice tonight. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, eagle wrap with the arms, only if you did on the first side. Right elbow underneath left. Inhale here, lift the elbows. Exhale, sink the hips. And release the arms and feet. Nice big sun breath. Inhale, round and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank pose. And exhale, lower all the way down. Now come up onto your forearms and elbows again. We're going to roll to the left side. Let's start there first. Find your balls again. And we're going to position these balls side by side underneath the left rib cage. And you want them approximately at the base of the shoulder blade or scapula. So we're about bra strap level is what we're looking for. Staying up on that left elbow, just find your connection first. Bend that top leg, and you can plant that right foot behind you just for added stability. And when you're ready, slowly lower down onto the balls by sliding that arm out on the floor and lowering down. You can bend the elbow, let your head rest in the palm of the left hand, whatever works for you. Modulate the amount of pressure you feel on the balls according to what works for you. You can also take that towel or washcloth and drape them over the balls for a little softening. Breathing right here. Into the serratus muscles, the intercostal muscles, responsible for expanding and contracting the rib cage. And then by pressing that right foot into the floor, you're going to make a gentle chugging action where you're not really rolling on the balls, you're just creating this kind of chugging action on the balls. Keep a nice deep breath going. And release. Go ahead and bring yourself back up onto the elbow as you adjust the balls. Now you're going to roll those balls a little higher to about mid shoulder blade, and then lower back down. Bend the elbow, rest the head in the palm, and settle in. Now, if your balls are sliding out from underneath you, it can be helpful to put them into a tube sock with a rubber band at the end, or go ahead and invest in those yoga tune-up balls that I talk so much about. I really do love them. And now pressing that foot behind you into the floor, begin your chugging action onto the ball. And release, slide that elbow back in so you can lift the torso up. Last position, balls are going to roll a little higher so that they're right underneath the armpit. So that upper third of the edge of your shoulder blade there, that's what we're aiming for here. Right along the subscapularis muscle. Some of the attachments of the rotator cuff muscles are here. Pause and reestablish your breath. This might be enough for you. It's pretty intense in this area. And this is anatomically the site of a lot of lymph nodes. And if it feels right for you tonight, go ahead and begin your chugging action here. Good. Stop the chugging action. You're going to keep pressure onto the balls here, and then you're just going to modify and lift your head up so that you can bring that elbow forward in front of you toward your chest and gently roll onto your back. You're still keeping the pressure and weight on the balls. Now you might be half on, half on the balls, half off. That's okay. We're just working one side at a time. Once you get to your back, go ahead and release the head and neck down to the floor. And breathe. Working the apastamba, marma point on the shoulder blade. Responsible for the protective fluids of the body, referred to as kalidaka kappa. It's the fluid portion that lines the insides of our stomach and protects it from the stomach acid. It's the fluid that lubricates our joints. And it nourishes the lining of the lungs. One more deep breath here. And exhale, release. You can roll back to your left side, modulating the pressure as you need, pressing that back foot into the floor as you gently lift yourself up. and go to the other side. So you can, I'm just going to swing my legs around front so I can stay facing the camera. Placing the balls again to start right about bra height, bra strap height here. And then lowering down to the side. Do you have a question, Jen? All right. Let me see, pause here and answer your question. What's going on?
I don't know. I lost you. I can't see you at all. I can see myself up in the corner, but I can't see you. So something happened.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. So find your balls, lie down on your right side.
Okay.
And you can bend the left knee and plant that left foot behind you just for added stability. You're going to position those two balls right about bra strap level. And then slide that right arm and elbow further away from you so you can lower yourself down onto the balls to your comfort. And then you're welcome to bend that right elbow again just to rest your head in your hand or palm. There you go, you got it. Return back to your breath. And then if it feels right for you, press that back foot into the floor and just create a small chugging action onto those balls. This is optional. You can simply just stay there and breathe. One more breath. And release. Go ahead and lift your torso up just enough so you can roll those balls further up the rib cage to about mid-scapula level. You're still on the edge of the body. And then slowly lower yourself back down. Return to your breath. And begin your chugging action if it feels right. And release. Last position, lifting yourself back up again and rolling those balls further up the rib cage to about the top third of that shoulder blade, right underneath the armpit. And then lower yourself back down. This is where having that tote or sock for the balls is really handy so you don't have them shooting out underneath you. But move slowly. Find the contact that feels good for you and return back to your breath. Last step is to press that back foot into the floor and begin your gentle chugging action. And release. Now keeping that pressure on the balls, that right elbow, you're going to bring forward toward your chest so that you can slowly start rolling onto your back. Those balls will roll behind you onto the shoulder blade and then rest the head back down. Pausing here. Again, activating Apastamba, marma point on the shoulder blade. Breathing here. One more breath. Beautiful. And release. Go ahead and tuck the chin into the chest. Lift the head. Lift the torso. Come up to seating. And remove those balls out of the way. Center yourself back onto your mat if you rolled off. Cross your legs. We'll do one vinyasa just to clear the slate here. Go ahead and step back to plank pose. Knees up or down, your choice, your practice. Inhale here. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Cobra or up dog, your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly walk the feet forward, bending the knees, and coming down to a seated position again. Find your balls. And we're going to position the balls on either side of the spine and the upper back, right in between the shoulder blades. You can decide where or how high you want to put them, but do make sure that they're far enough down so that when you lay back down onto your spine, they won't shoot out behind you. Hands can basket the back of the head, elbows wide, knees bent, feet planted flat on the mat. Nice deep breath. Press the feet in the floor and begin your chugging action. And pause. Bring the arms by your sides. Press the feet into the floor. Lift the hips up just slightly, and then press into the feet and roll the balls down about a ball width distance, and then lower the hips back down. Walk the feet and heels in closer toward the hips, and begin your chugging action here. We're simply working our way down the upper back, releasing the rhomboid muscles, and stimulating some more marma points associated with the heart. And release. Press the feet in the floor, lift the hips up off of the mat, and slowly roll the balls, another ball width down the spine. Release the hips back down, walk the heels back in. Inhale here. And chug. Keep a nice deep belly breath as you're chugging along. Breaking up stagnation. Creating radiance and luster to the mind. Release. Now stay where you are now. Inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. And exhale, wrap right arm over left. Give yourself a nice big bear hug. You might feel a pulling sensation underneath the skin where the balls are. That's what we want. Keep hugging yourself as you inhale deeply into the balls. Sigh it out the mouth. Inhale, arms reach back up toward the ceiling. Exhale, switch arms on top. Left arm crosses over, hugging yourself nice and tight. Inhale here. And exhale. And you can stay here. If you want to add sensation, you're always welcome to lift the hips and low back off of the floor, and or maybe add some chugging action from there. Your choice, your practice. And if you lifted the hips, go ahead and lower them back down. Keep the hug, keep the pressure on the balls. And silently repeat to yourself, or actually let's say it out loud. Why be silent, right? Go ahead and inhale. We're going to chant the seed mantra for the heart. Yum. Y-A-M. Yum. 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 Bringing vocalization and vibration. Release the mantra. Release the hug. Very gently roll yourself to your right side in a fetal position off of the balls. Plant the palms and lift yourself up. Move the balls out of the way. And come back down onto your back for Shavasana. Maybe grabbing an extra layer to stay warm. Tonight's practice is being recorded, so I will send you the link to the replay. So that way, Jen, any visuals you may have missed live will be provided in the recording. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out. Release all technique. And sink into your mat. Letting the brain float to the back of the head. Tongue relaxes and hangs heavy. As you continue a nice, steady breath, bring your mind's attention around the heart space. Envisioning a tiny spark, like a shiny diamond. This is soul. I am soul. And that light slowly starts to grow and glow brighter. Light swirling around the heart space. All valves and channels are clean and clear. That light continues to grow and float up the chest, up the neck, and to the head. Connecting heart and mind. That light continues to flow back down the neck, shoulders, arms, and hands. Flooding the fingertips with light. Bathing the joints and tissues of the body to protect, to support. That light grows brighter as it travels back up the arms, down the chest, as it swirls around the breasts, sweeping away any stagnant lymph. The light swirls around the rib cage to the back, down to the abdomen, pelvis, and reproductive organs. Wrapping our systems of reproduction and elimination with healing light. Taking a moment to thank your body and low back for all the work that it does each and every day. That light continues to swirl and embrace, rinse and release any stagnation, anything that sticks, that does not serve you. And the light continues to grow and flow down the thighs, to the knees, shins, ankles, and feet. The body is fully illuminated. Slowly, the light begins to recede from the toes and fingers. Traveling back up the legs, up the arms, slowly contracting back to the heart space. Back to a tiny spark, like a shiny diamond. This is soul. I am soul. Soham, soham, soham shivaham, soham, soham, soham shivaham. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes, inviting some gentle movements back into the wrists and ankles, maybe nodding the head left and right. Inhale the arms up alongside the ears, point the toes, stretch nice and long on the inhale. And exhale, squeeze both knees into the chest as you roll to the right side, pausing there. Connecting the third eye with your mat or the floor. Pause here. Very gently and slowly press your palms into the floor. Bring your way back to a seated position. Keeping a soft gaze or maybe closed eyes. Palms press at heart center in Anjali Mudra. The mudra symbolizing humility, gratitude, and respect. I'd like to close our practice tonight with the Mrutyunjaya mantra. This is the healing mantra in Ayurveda, the death-defying mantra. And I dedicate this to all the people on the planet, healthy and unhealthy. Om Trayam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyamamrita. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gently bring the thumbs up to the third eye as the chin tucks down and a gentle bow, acknowledging the teachers and the lineage before us. Bowing in gratitude for the wisdom of the Vaidyas and yogis. Inhale, lift the head, hands back to heart. Namaste.
It's always voice too.
Wonderful. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. A lot of pressure has been released. We didn't really get to talk about, I am injured in my hip flexors and in my right groin. So I had a lot of trouble with, trying to just kind of hold my balance and, I'm in physical therapy for it. But, other than that, everything was it was beautiful. And everything feels like it's flowing. But I love when people know how to work with the balls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as always, we modify our practice to whatever our needs are. And I'm glad you still found some benefit through the practice and asana. I love my balls and rolling on them. They are such a lifesaver. Beyond just releasing muscular tension, I can combine them with my knowledge of Ayurvedic anatomy, these energy points, pranayama, and now you really start to cultivate a mastery over your own self-healing. That there's no one magic bullet. It's all of these things coming together with intention, with commitment, and with repetition, with practice.
That's right. That's right.
I'm so happy that you ladies joined me tonight. As I said earlier, it's being recorded, so you will get emailed the replay tomorrow. And hopefully, Jen, that will omit any of those blackouts you were experiencing on your end. My apologies. I could see you the entire time, which is how I knew something was going on, because you had come off your mat. So I'm glad that.
I thought if I just touched one of the buttons, maybe it would come back, and then I was like, don't mess with it. I can use it. That's plenty enough.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Thank you for your patience as I continue to push my own limits and boundaries and use new skill sets and technology and tools like this so that I can reach you.
Absolutely. It was great to reconnect with you. I haven't seen you in a long time. And like I say, I hope to make my way out for some treatments. Be great.
When you're ready. When you're ready.
And let me know if you're going to do anything else like this while we're...
I will. I think that I may, as long as people are quarantined and business is slow, I'm happy to keep providing these if there's interest. And you get my newsletter, and that's the best way to know my goings on as soon as they're released hot off the press. And you'll always know where I am and what I'm doing. And in the meantime, keep taking good care of yourself. You'll get this recording, so you'll then have it and you can download it to your personal device and continue practicing it. This is now yours.
Wonderful.
And, you'll have the tools to really clear out that stagnation of lymph and mucus and a lot of even emotional kind of stagnation that tends to have the heart and lungs in this more protective, contracted kind of state. So
thank you so much, Chris. I have to jump away to take care of bedtime.
I understand.
It was beautiful.
Good night, ladies.
All right, good night. Thank you, Chris. Be well.
Bye-bye.